What's going on, everyone? I'm Tony with RcHelpDotCom, and today we're going to be setting up the Ikon on the Goblin. Yeah, buddy. So all we need to do this is the Ikon, a USB cable, which it is supplied with, and you need to have the Ikon software installed on your computer. Very simple to do. We've already run through how to put this software on your computer, what happens when you try to run the software for the first time. I just tried to open it up on the computer and they had updated it. So I had to update the program on the computer. Then I plugged in the helicopter just to test and make sure everything was going to work, and I had to update the Ikon again. Now this is the Ikon 2, so if you guys have the Ikon 1, it should still be about the same. Some things may be a little bit different, but on this video we're going to be talking about the Ikon 2 specifically. Now you guys have seen me put the pitch gauge on there. You know how to put the pitch gauge on there. If you need any help with that, let me know. What we're doing today is just setting up the Ikon program on the computer and programming the gyro itself. If you need help with any of the pitch or anything like that, you guys come over to the forum and post up. The link's down in the description. Alright, so the first thing we got to do is we got to plug in our USB cable. I'm just going to plug it in. I do not have the battery connected right now. It's going to come up, it's going to do the little ding ding ding, and then it's going to make sure it assigns the COM port and stuff like that. Then we can go in, we can fire up the Ikon software. Alright, so once we're here inside the Ikon software, on the very first page you're going to come up to, if you're not used to the Ikon 2, you're going to notice there's a bunch of boxes here where you can select a bunch of stuff that you couldn't select before. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through here. We're going to find our helicopter, Goblin 380 electric. The blade names are going to be SAB. The tail blade names as well, let me have it, are going to be SAB. The motor type, I'm running the ALZRC motor on this thing. I could say that it's some other kind of motor, but I'm just going to say unlisted. The ESC type, we are running a hobby wing. On the battery type, I'm running a Charsoon. They don't have that in here, so I'm going to go ahead and select unlisted. Cyclic servos, where are they at? Yep, we're going to select unlisted. Tail servo, we're going to select unlisted because they don't have my servos in here. And then transmitter type, we are going to select Spectrum since I will be doing this on my DX9. Alright, we'll click on the next tab, and in here we got to set our frequency and our centering position. Now on my cyclic servos I am running 1520 microseconds, and I'm just going to go ahead and set them at 165 Hertz. On the tail I'm going to go ahead and select 1520 165, even though you could go over here and set 300 if you wanted to. But let's go ahead, leave it at 165, that way we know it's going to be safe. Alright, from there we'll click on the next little box. You could click on this arrow up here if you wanted to, but in here you need to check what receiver you have. You know, are you using a standard receiver, PPM receiver, are you using Futaba or Hi-Tech S-Bus? You know, figure out what you're going to be using. I'm using the Spectrum DSMX satellite receiver, and that is all I'm using, which it's already checked, so we're good to go. Alright, click on the next one. This is going to be your connections. This is how you need to connect up all your satellite receivers, all your servos, your ESC or your throttle servo if you're doing nitro, and the Bluetooth module if you want to put it in there. We're not running a Bluetooth module on this one, so we don't have to worry about it, but make sure that all of your pins are correct. The signal pin is at the top or towards the label, and then negative is at the bottom, positive is in the middle. Whatever you do, do not apply power to this far left bank of pins right here. You will blow this thing up very quickly. There's been a lot of reports about people plugging power into that, trying to bind or whatever, and just been straight blowing it up. Alright, we'll go ahead and click on the next one, and in here you get to see if all your stuff is working. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go ahead and fire up my radio. I select the Goblin 380, and then we're going to plug in the battery and get that all initialized. This would be a good time to take your blades off of your helicopter. Alright, everything seems good. Let's see, move some stuff. We can see everything moving. And what we need to do in here is, say on the aileron, the very top bar, we need to go all the way right, and we need to make sure it's at 100. Then we need to go all the way left, and we need to make sure it is at 100. Same thing for elevator, same thing for your rudder, as well as pitch and everything. Let me turn hold on. Turn that up, 100%, negative 100, everything's great there. On the throttle, you can test that, but since this thing has a slow start, we'll go ahead and test it just so you can see what it does. I'm going to grab a hold of the head, and if you look at this one right here, this is going to be your throttle. So I'm going to hold the head, go up 100%, and then come down. I didn't want it to go any any further than that. And then of course we've got the tail gain. I basically just set the gear channel from, it's got positive 100, 0, negative 100. I haven't set up the gyro menu yet. We can go in there later on. We know it's on the gear channel and we know that we can select it. Now, right down here, we got our auxiliary channel. On this setup, the auxiliary channel is actually on auxiliary 3. So I need to change where auxiliary 3 is in my radio. All right, so I went in and I changed it from the little rotary dial on top of my DX9 to an actual switch. So now negative 100, 0, and positive 100. And then of course right here you can see which setup you're on. That's setup 1, setup 2, setup 3, which is exactly how I want it. All right, we'll go into the next menu. And in here you need to select which way your blades are spinning. On the Goblin 380, they spin clockwise. Then you need to come over here and select which swash plate this thing has. We have a 3 servo 120 degree, and this is where it will tell you which servo goes to what. Now if you remember, right back here, it showed you servo 1 goes into servo 1, servo 2, servo 2, servo 3, servo 3. This menu right here will tell you servo 1 is going to be your elevator. On my particular helicopter, servo 2 is going to be the aileron, servo 3 is the pitch. So now that we got that selected, we can go ahead and move our throttle and just make sure your swash is going up and down in the correct orientation. You go up on the stick, it should go up. If you come down on the stick, it should go down. You can select this box and it will reverse your swash. So if you go up on mine particularly, whenever I go up on throttle, it's going down. Whenever I go down, it's going up. So we'll go ahead and take that off. Now my orientation is where it should be. Click on the next one, and this one is where you are going to set your center and your full pitch. Again, if you guys need help with setting up your pitch, guys, come over to the forum. I've done multiple videos on it, and we're just trying to kind of glide through this one. But if you have questions, come over to the forum and post up. What I'm going to do, I'm going to set 0 degrees at mid stick, and then I'm going to set positive 12 degrees and negative 12 degrees. All right, in this menu, you also check your directions. Make sure everything is working properly, and in my case it is. So we can move on to this one right here. This is going to be your tail setup. Down here you see set in software. We do not want to set in software. We want to set this in the gyro menu in our radio. Alright guys, we had to backtrack in the software a little bit. I forgot that I changed this servo from the Align DS520. I am now running a different ALZRC servo on the tail of this helicopter, and yeah, it's 760 US. That was my bad. I forgot that it was 760. So if we dive down in here, we're going to go ahead and set it to 760 US, 333 Hertz, and we're going to call it good right there. I apologize about this. I forgot about it. Now we can move on, because I wasn't getting no luck setting up that tail. Wow. All right, let's dive back into it. So here we are back in this menu, and what we need to do is we need to set full deflection. I'm going to go ahead and go full left deflection, and it is reversed, so I will do that. Now that I've reversed it, the tail blades are going in the correct direction. We'll go ahead and hit the positive to increase until I see it stop moving, which is about right there. Back it off. We'll go the other direction, hit the positive. All right, stop moving. We'll back it off a few just to make sure. All right, and that looks good. Again, if you need help with this menu, come over to the forum and post up. Now my orientation, I know you guys can't read this. I can't even read this on my computer, and I have a 23-inch screen. Basically it says top up, wires front. That's exactly how mine is. If you guys have a different orientation, go ahead and select that. All right, in here we are going to select 2 blades, because we are running, well, 2 blades. In here we are running 325 to 385, since this is a 380 millimeter helicopter. All right, now that we got that, we're going to go ahead and select our rescue, which I am not going to touch. This will be set up later after I know the helicopter flies correctly. Last thing I need is for this to be enabled on a flight mode setting, and I end up crashing it because this is set up wrong. I want to know that this helicopter flies first, and then we'll set this up. So we'll go ahead and click into the next one, and here we have our throttle. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and unplug the battery from the helicopter. I'm going to turn off throttle hold and just make sure we are hitting 100%. and going all the way down to 0. If you notice here, whenever I come up, it'll select that one, and then that one, and then that one. If we were running a governor, we could set it up in here. I will be running the governor on the Hobbywing ESC, which is a video that will be coming out pretty soon. So go ahead and select the next one, and this one is our flight modes. So you can see here, flight mode 1, 2, and 3. Here we can select, we can use a governor, we can select beginner, sport, 3D, or hardcore. And the way I've always done it, on that one, I select beginner, sport, and then 3D. That way I can test all 3 of these and find out which one best suits me. But I always start in the beginner setting just to see what it feels like. As you can see, cyclic gain 31, 31, 31, the same all the way around. We will be adjusting that whenever we figure out if we have any oscillation or hunting. And then down here on agility, 30, 50, and 90. So once you jump up there, I wonder what hardcore is. Hardcore doesn't change, but yeah, I know it changes something up here in the advanced menu. All right, and from there, now we just need to tilt the helicopter and do all that rigmarole, which means I need to plug my helicopter back in. Alright, I have checked all of my directions, which it says in here, and my swash plate is tilting opposite whenever I tilt the helicopter left, right, forward, or back, and the tail blades are going in the correct direction. So guys, there you go. That's pretty much how you set up the Ikon 2. What's going to take you the longest in here is setting up the head. You know, figuring out 0-degree pitch at mid-stick. It does have a dead band in there. And then doing your cyclic, which I had a little bit of a problem with. I'm going to go out and fly it and see what it does, and then we'll move on from there. Now on mine, whatever was the highest cyclic number, I brought that one to 10 degrees, which is where they want you to be. And I'm running about 12 degrees of collective pitch. So like I had said before, they didn't have my servos in there. I did not realize that this was a 760 microsecond servo, and it is not a 1520. I'm surprised that the servo didn't get hotter than it did, because it was, yeah, it basically cocked it over all the way one way, and that is very, very bad for them. It did not get hot, and I was very surprised about that. So, but we got the tail set up now, we got the Ikon set up now. Now all we need to do is do a maiden flight. Guys, if you would like to see a more in-depth video on this, let me know and I will make it. Right now, we have done so many videos on setting up the gyro menu in the radio, how to assign switches in the radio, that I didn't want to dive into it in this one. But if you guys want to see, you know, the complete head setup on this thing, you want to see the complete radio setup, I will do an entire video showcasing every bit of that. You know, what we're doing with the tail blades, what we're looking at, what we're doing with the head, what we're doing with the sticks, going in, changing that auxiliary 3 switch over to auxiliary 2. I'll go in, I'll make a video that covers every bit of that. You guys just post in the comment section below and let me know. So guys, if you want to go pick up this kit, I'm going to try to find an Amazon link. You guys can click on the link in the description, go over, check it out. I'm also going to have links for the motor, the cyclic servos, the tail servo, and the ESC, the battery, and anything else I can find. It'll all be in the description below. Just click on it, check it out. If you guys do go over there and buy something, doesn't necessarily have to be that product. It will give us a little bit of a kickback, which is greatly appreciated. As always, please give this video a thumbs up. If you have any questions, comments, and suggestions, be sure to post them in the comments section below. I want to thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.